into some of this stuff, shall we?
Sure.
As you can tell, we have kind of a used bookstore sitting here on this table, and Eric and I are
Most
go
of these
through...
were purchased at used bookstores.
It's true. That's true. There's quite a few half-price books purchases here. So anyway, Eric and I are going to kind of go back and forth, and we're just going to show you real rapid fire some things that we bought recently. Some superhero movies. I actually have a big stack of those. Some books, some comics, and then we will get right into GNN. Eric, you want to start?
Sure.
You want to just show us a few things?
Sure. So this is a novel called The Man with the Golden Torque. I don't know if I'll ever actually read this, but I purchased it at half-price books. It's written by an author named Simon R. Green, who writes another series called The Night Side that John Carpenter's making a TV show.
Okay.
So I went to the bookstore looking for that book series, found this. All of the titles are James Bond themed, and it's apparently like kind of a spy-y, supernatural thing. I read the first couple pages, didn't love it, but
So are they parodies, or they just sort of have parody titles?
this is kind of parody titles. This is called The Man with the Golden Torque. Torques are those like golden necklace things that people wear. I learned that.
Oh, is that what those are?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And it is in the same universe as the Nightside stuff, so that was another reason I ended up purchasing it.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Cool. How many things should I go through?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe just do a do a
Christmas.
stack. Yeah, right. It's just a few things.
Okay. I also recently picked up Mobile Suit Gundam 0083 Stardust Memory, which I'll probably review next week. It's 13 episode, like little OVA thing.
Cool.
But yeah, I got that because we got it used and new. It's like $40. We got it for like $25.
I was going to ask you if that was one of those that was really expensive.
Yeah,
so
it's...
you've been having that problem with a lot of anime.
Yeah, it is expensive, but we got it used and I get a discount at work, so I got it even cheaper. It cost me about $20. So
It's not bad.
no. And I also got Lethal Weapon. I did in fact purchase this, and we rewatched the pilot.
We did, and we still like it.
Yeah, so we'll at some point we'll talk about more about this show. I think
Blow through some of that.
Yeah.
On a week where I don't have Teen Wolf to watch.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go through some superhero movies, Eric.
Sure.
I'll do my kind of superhero movie thing real quick. First of all, here's the Adventures of Captain Marvel serial,
Which we have no idea how we got.
I don't remember purchasing this. It came in the mail. I do remember having a conversation about a Captain Marvel TV show that I didn't know existed, but that's not what this is. This is the serials, and I'm glad I have this because I've watched the first episode of this before, not on this because it's sealed. I haven't opened this yet, but thought it was really cool. I don't know if you ever watched that. But
I've never seen it.
I remember thinking that was really cool, so I'm glad I have this now. I'll watch this at some point, but I don't remember. I had some kind of a lapse. I had a blackout, and I bought The Adventures of Captain Marvel on Amazon. So I'm glad I didn't go after any animes, Eric, because that could have gotten expensive.
That's true.
And then new stuff. Here's Wonder Woman. I got the Blu-ray with the DVD. And there wasn't any kind of like special steel box or anything for Wonder Woman, so I just got the standard Blu-ray, but made sure I got all the special features. I haven't watched this again yet. I haven't opened this up yet, but I did get Wonder Woman. And then where am I gonna put stuff? And then I did get the special edition of Spider-Man: Homecoming.
That's a beautiful.
I think
set.
this was about $25, maybe. It was on sale for a couple of bucks, so I went ahead and got it. No, like a couple bucks off. This was a Target exclusive, I think. And whenever Target does these kinds of things, remember they had the steel box for Power Rangers.
Yeah.
When Target does this, I go ahead and buy it real quick because and I usually buy these things the first couple weeks anyway. I waited a little bit on Wonder Woman because I didn't want to pay $25.
And there wasn't like a special edition you felt like you needed to get.
Yeah, and then I went ahead and broke down when I got this because I was like, whatever, if I'm doing this anyway, I'll go ahead and get Wonder Woman. So I ended up paying $22 for Wonder Woman. I got $3 whole off, but I decided not to wait on it because I wanted to see it again. So anyway, but this I knew they would run out of. So it's the Blu-ray, the DVD, the digital, and then it has a bonus disc. I don't know what's on it, but it has all the special features that the regular Blu-ray has, but then it has even another bonus disc. And like I said, I have no idea what's on that. So one of these days, I'll actually watch some of these things before I talk about them. But we'll, I don't know, we may cover this movie again at some point when, we go ahead and watch it since we got it. And then there's a little Spider-Man comic, a little Homecoming comic. It's like, really short, just a couple pages. But, well, who knows? These things don't tend to be, so yeah. I don't remember the last time I did an update video, but like you said, it's so pretty.
Yeah, I really like that cover.
It's supposed to kind of look like like his notebook, his nerdy notebook.
And the back's kind of that rugged stuff back at that, yeah.
And he's working on his web fluid, and he's got this kind of scrapbook thing going on, and it's really cool. And then I don't know if if any of these things showed up in the last one, but I don't think they did. So here's Guardians Volume 2. Again, I just got the standard Blu-ray DVD combo for that. We bought Freakazoid. We might talk about this a little bit later in the show. I kind of probably put this in the wrong stack, but we got both seasons of Freakazoid. Eric found these for a really good deal for us, so we went ahead and picked that up. I had not seen this in 20 years.
We watched the first 2 episodes.
We'll try to get to that a little bit later if we can. I bought the second season of Flash and the second season of Gotham because they were super, super cheap. They were running a sale again at Target, I think, and I thought I had the first seasons of both of these, and I cannot find them.
The early seasons of Flash, Supergirl, and Arrow, I'm seeing cheap, like really cheap, like everywhere.
You know what else I'm starting to see? I know Arrow does this, and I think Flash does it too. They're starting to put out 2-season combos pretty inexpensively. I think they're like 25 or 30, and it's the first 2 seasons of those shows. Obviously, Supergirl's not doing that yet because the second season just dropped for that. Here's a thing that did Duke send us this? This is Silverhawk with Michelle Yeoh. I don't think we mentioned this last time.
I don't think so.
I forget, but anyway, if we
it's
did,
also got
it is again. It's got Michael Jai White.
Yep.
And we're gonna talk about this at some point. We talked about doing a blind commentary on this. I don't know if we'll do that because I'm sure no one owns it. But we did watch the trailer for this, and it looks hilarious.
It does.
And it looks like it was made with $1.95 and should have been on television. But that's what that is. And then crazy things I have to buy because I'm me and I have to buy everything based on a comic book or superhero. Here is. Get this, Lego DC Superhero Girls Brain Drain. There are now 3 DC Superhero Girls movies. I said a long time ago, surely they'll start making movies based on this, and I predicted that. Now there are 3, and one of them is Lego, and I watched part of this with Jason. I didn't finish it. It's okay, there's some funny bits in it. I don't know why it needs to be Lego. They didn't really have a lot of fun with the whole block building minifig thing. Like, I'm more impressed with the Lego things when there's some kind of a reason for it to be Lego, where like they actually kind of like steer into, look, the world is made of building blocks. You know, that's when it's really fun. I liked. I like some of like the metaphor that they do. You haven't seen this yet, but some of the metaphor they do with brick building and with your world being made out of bricks in the Lego Ninjago movie. They kind of have some fun with that and make it kind of like a building character thing. And I don't know. I like it when they do that. But otherwise, there's no reason this needed to be Lego anyway, because that's usually like kind of sort of a parody of something that you're doing already, even if it's already sort of comedy, and this is already kind of pushing toward parody material. See, I don't know why they did that. Anyway, Eric and I are doing Batman Beyond: Return of the Joker, of course, for Batmania, so I had to buy this because I didn't have the version with the like PG-13 version. There's a couple of scenes missing out of
Joker's death.
There's a different
big one.
Yeah, there's he gets like fried and stuff, or no, he gets shot. He gets fried in the other one.
Yeah. He falls into wires in the censored version. He is shot by Tim Drake in the.
So I finally got it. It's hard. We talked about this, but on a video that hasn't been posted yet. But it's really nondescript. It's hard to tell which one is the right one. This is the one.
The big tell that I have
what the big tell was. Yeah,
is the uncut version has commentary.
Right.
But that doesn't help you in the 2-packs because they strip out special features in 2-packs. So I don't know on those.
Yeah. But I don't think any of the 2-packs have the real one.
Okay.
Because they put them with things that were otherwise kid-friendly, so it would be smart of them to do that. And then, finally, for superhero movies, if you missed the German video, here is X-Men 2 in German. It's the one superhero movie I bought when I was in Germany, because I thought it would be funny to hear Stryker yell, "There are no answers," that way Wolverine in German. And Eric pointed out that it will be interesting to see what, I haven't watched this yet, what Nightcrawler's dub sounds like.
Because he's German
Since
to begin
he
with.
is German to begin with. So anyway, there's my superhero movies that I've bought, and a few of these things will be things that will come up in the not-too-distant future, I am sure. Eric, what else do you have?
So I've got, get ready for this title. Mobile Suit Gundam Wing Endless Waltz Glory of the Losers.
So you shouldn't have to read a book to buy a book?
This is Volume 2. I've got Volume 1 in the stack over there, because I'm going to talk about it tonight. This is Gundam Wing is a series, but then there are prequel and kind of in between mangas that flesh things out, and there's also a sequel movie, and everything there doesn't all make sense. So the original writer is retelling it all as a manga, to bring all of that stuff together and make it all one seamless story.
If you started every synopsis that broad and vague, we would never get anything done. Okay, so this is a series.
I'll actually talk about this a little bit when we get to the reviewing portion.
Cool.
This is Captain Kronos Vampire Hunter, which is a Hammer horror film. It's wonderful. It's super fun.
Is he from the Klingon homeworld?
Well, no.
Oh, okay.
But this is really good.
I know what Kronos means.
And I also, for some reason, bought
weird.
the novelization of the film.
What do you mean, for some reason? Look, you have free will, okay? You made a choice, sir. Why did you buy that? Don't say you don't know.
Well, some of the so some of the Hammer movies back in the day got novelizations, kind of like Star Trek, where like they'd come out and they get novelizations.
Oh, okay.
Hammer, who's now kind of establishing themselves as a horror company, are going back and getting writers to do novelizations for films that didn't get novelizations in the first place.
Okay.
I was interested to read this because while this movie is really good, it clearly wants to be a franchise. It's clearly supposed to be a franchise.
Oh.
And I was hoping that there would be more backstory for Captain Kronos and stuff in that book. I do know that book does a very strange thing in which every single chapter is from a different character's perspective.
That's weird.
That's really weird.
Most of these chapters are also super short, and they all have titles.
Well, that's weird.
And they're all like sentence titles. So, like, chapter 28, Marcus visits the Durwards, and Kiru fights the Ale Regiment, and... Okay, that one's actually not a sentence. Carla loves to dance. Marcus admires his handiwork.
I don't feel like I have to read the book. I can just read the...
Marcus feels the need to break... There's something markedly Dickens about this. Father Volk faces his demons. Anyway. Really short chapters.
This actually has commentary...
For people with really short attention spans.
From the director and the lead actress and someone else. But it's Brian Clemens. The writer, director, and I believe producer of this film is Brian Clemens, who created The Avengers, the British TV show.
Oh, interesting.
He made this movie. It's his only directorial credit, and you can kind of see that. And there's some hilarious stuff in the commentary where there's like a terrible-looking bat, and he goes, "That bat looks really good. Other horror bats look terrible, but ours looks really good."
That's great.
It's worth listening to, and just
got a lot of self-awareness. Okay, so how have you seen that commentary if you just bought that movie?
I bought it a couple weeks ago. I actually bought it while you were in Germany.
Oh, so you've already watched that then?
And I'd seen the movie prior. Actually,
is that your review? That was your whole review. Good job. That was a good review.
At one point, this
is a movie, not a series.
But it wanted to be a series. At one point, this was going to be a Netflix roulette. And then we didn't do it, and I just watched it on my own.
It's probably not even on Netflix anymore.
It's not on Netflix anymore. That's why I had to buy it. And just to round out the Hammer thing, I found out recently that Titan Comics is doing got the license for Hammer horror. The first one they did is The Mummy, and they're currently putting out one by Dan Abnett, which is a Captain Kronos comic.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
This is fine.
Did you read it?
I did.
It's all right.
It's fine.
Is it better than that movie that came out?
It is better than that movie that came out.
But I mean, like, that's standard, you know, it's
a little bit more confusing, but yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that rounds out...
A little convoluted, is it?
I've been buying a bunch of Hammer stuff, or I was buying a bunch of Hammer stuff. So yeah.
Hey, Eric, let's show off a bunch of random Star Trek novels, shall we?
New Frontier, the whole first 4 books in one complete hardcover that does not include... This is the hardcover, and it doesn't include the nice fold-out picture of the whole crew that the small version has. That's what I've got.
Yeah, you have that. And that picture, anytime you look up New Frontier things, that's everywhere, because there are certain characters that's probably the only...
you mean the fold-out picture?
Yeah.
It does not come in the hardcover.
Well, I was going to say that's probably about the only likeness she had of those characters. There was a comic, and so you would have had it.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so...
That's my one for that.
As I've said on Read a Book, and we'll be doing more of this later on Read a Book, I hope
you like Star Trek book reviews.
Buying a ridiculous amount of Star Trek novels.
And that's kind of my fault.
I read a couple, and I like... Why is it your fault?
Because I bought that, and then you were like looking into Star, and you're like, oh, there's a whole thing with these. I'm gonna start buying these.
I think that happened sort of simultaneously. I think because so I bought John Jackson Miller's Star Trek books.
Yeah.
I read one book. I liked it a lot. I started looking into the Star Trek novels and realized it was a lot more of a consistent canon than I realized. And I was like, well, this is the closest to like real canon Star Trek I can get right now. This is before Discovery came out, and now
it's still the closest you can get.
The closest I can get to real canon Star Trek. But anyway, it's look. even if that show wanted to just throw canon out the window, I might enjoy it if I thought it was good, a good show. But anyway, we'll talk about that later. But anyway, I started looking into that a little bit, and I developed some curiosity. And as I was buying up books, you got that TNG book, which you'll talk about a little bit later. Another Peter David thing. I've now reviewed 2 Star Trek books on the channel. I'm going to do another one tonight. But I've just been buying them up because they're so cheap. It's like buying comics, I spent $3.99 on this, and I spent $3.99 on this, and I've just been stacking them up. I got to get more bookshelves because I'm out of space for these. But anyway, so I'm just going to go down.
You were out of space for Star Trek books when I got here.
A long time ago. Yeah, well, because I also collect reference really hard. So this is, I'm going to go through these really quick. I don't know a lot about some of these. I just bought them because, some of them are authors I'm familiar with and like, and some of them just, I don't have that one. I'm buying mostly more recent ones, but I'm making exceptions to that when things are seem really interesting. I'm sort of buying these like I buy comics sometimes by almost cover. You know what I mean? Except the covers aren't great. It's more premise. You know what I mean? But anyway, so this is a book that takes place kind of around Cage era called Inception. That is about Carol Marcus and Kirk first getting together. So I kind of wanted to read that one.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, and then I got some of the Vanguard books, which is also TOS era, about, I guess, a space station. And some of these are written by Dayton Ward, who is a friend of mine, and I haven't read any of his work yet. I'm going to start doing that. Sorry, Dayton. I'm sure you're not watching this, but that is a thing I've been remiss about and need to do. He also wrote some of Typhon Pact, so I've got one of those, and I'm going to buy up the rest of Typhon Pact and read these. That's kind of like the Axis powers of planets that are against the Federation. They kind of make their own Federation, and there's talk about the Typhon Pact in John Jackson Miller's first novel.
Okay.
And so I started getting interested in that, and then I looked over on my shelf, I'm like, oh, I own one of those, and it's Dayton Ward, and I should have read that already. So anyway, and then just another Dayton Ward book. This is Star Trek TNG, Hearts and Minds. I guess this one is about something about a United States Air Force fighter jet in 2031. That has something to do with 24th Century Now. I don't know what that book's about. It's Dayton Ward, so I bought it. This is a TOS book.
You could just ask Dayton Ward what it's about.
I could, but he's got better things to do. He'd just be like, read the back of the book that you bought, you idiot. Here is a TOS novel by Peter David called The Rift, and I don't know that he's done a whole lot of TOS, but he's done a lot of movie era and comics, so...
I know he said that outside of New Frontier, TOS is his favorite to write because that's his Star Trek.
Yeah, and he's that's the big stuff he was doing before. I mean, that was his main Star Trek work, again in comics, before he did New Frontier. So, this is a thing about a romance thing about Picard and Crusher. It's probably not very good. I don't know.
Oh no! Don't read that.
Yeah, I don't know why I bought
this. Look at that cover.
Yeah, I know. I have no idea why I bought this. I don't know because I'm collecting now. Here is one of the Titan books. There's 4 or 5 of these now. I haven't read any of these yet.
That's a cool cover. I like
these covers are great. They're really eye-catching.
It kind of looks like it kind of looks like if I open it up, there will be like a Star Trek character inside, like an Animorphs book. Like I feel like this should be like an Animorphs book.
That'd be great. Instead, it just said in real big letters, Tuvok! Tuvok! Okay, and then Tuvok is on the Titan in that, which is cool. And then I bought these. These are... I'm actually really interested in these.
Ooh, I like that cover because it looks like an old book.
Well, it is
like
an old
books
book
like that.
Okay, fine. I guess I'll just show you this real quick. No, this is another reference thing. This came out just after the motion picture. This is like 78, 79.
I have a book on witchcraft that looks like that.
And it's kind of one of those philosophy books. This is meaning in Star Trek. So I'll read that at some point, hopefully. Anyway.
They're going to re-release that soon, and it's going to be called Memeing in Star Trek. It's going to be updated for the modern generation.
Right, yeah, and it's probably going to be a lot more superficial and just a joke book, really. Okay, so...
It's going to be like Picard doing this.
There are, I think, 2 or 3 more of these, but I managed to find 5 at the same bookstore, so I went ahead and bought these up. This is Star Trek The Lost Era, and these are not interconnected novels. They don't have much, if anything, to do with each other. These are all trying to, like, fill in periods with characters that would be interesting to go back and find out where they were earlier and stuff. And it finds ways to blend interesting characters together. So there's one that's... Cisco and Uhura, and I'm fascinated by that.
Does that make sense timeline-wise?
Well, yeah, I mean, we don't know when she died, so...
Okay. I just imagine she'd be really old, and she looks rather young there.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. There might be a conceit that got her from... No, she's Admiral Uhura, so...
Okay.
So this cover is not indicative of what's in this book. But anyway, so there's one about really early pre-DS9 Cisco, before, when he's like a lieutenant or something. And then this is John Harriman before he captains Enterprise B, I think, or just the beginning of that. No, I guess this is after he screws up and almost sort of kind of kills Captain Kirk. So that's interesting. This is Colonel Worf. Yeah, Colonel Worf book, so that's exciting. Colonel Worf, Star Trek 6. You haven't seen Star Trek 6 yet. But you remember I told you about that whole thing where you have
Worf,
and then you have Moog, and then you have Worf again. And then we ended up doing this with Duras also. I guess Enterprise thought that would be funny. There's a thing about young Riker and his father, Kyle Riker. And then there's a Sulu Excelsior book with Tuvok, because we found out in Voyager that Tuvok was on that ship, and that for weird reasons they changed the they changed the databank so that nobody knew he was ever there. Anyway,
of course.
So those are all the Star Trek books I bought, and hopefully that was just riveting for folks. What else do you have to show off?
Okay, so I've just got a couple more things.
Yeah.
I bought a book called Altered Carbon, which is a cyberpunk novel. Actually, after we recorded Blade Runner, I asked Lexi if this book was any good.
I was going to say, I feel like that came up recently. That's what it was. Okay.
I asked Lexi about it. He said it's really good, so I picked it up. It will probably be the next book I read after I finish the book I'm reading. And it says right here, soon to be a brand new series on Netflix.
Interesting.
It is a cyberpunk series that is actually interplanetary, which is unusual for cyberpunk. And the idea of this universe is we're all immortal now because we've discovered how to. It's called I think it's regloving, is what it's called. Re-sleeving.
Oh,
we
interesting.
Can put ourselves in different bodies, so nobody ever really dies. But if you're rich, you can pick what your body looks like. So if you want to look like Kim Kardashian, you can look like Kim Kardashian. If you want to look like a Cardassian, you can look like a Cardassian. If you're poor, the way that I understand it is just based on like synopsis, is that you could be like a big like jacked guy and get put in the body of like a small Asian woman. Like you have no control over what you get re-sleeved as. Oh. And it's a detective novel.
So you're taking that in your hands then?
Yes, yeah. Well, you have no control over it because you're poor. Like you just have no. And it's a detective novel where a rich guy is murdered and then re-sleeved and then hires a detective to find out who murdered him.
Oh, that's cool.
So yeah, that's probably going to be the next book I try and read.
It's going to be fascinating to see how they realize that.
Yeah.
In adaptation.
Yep. And how actors will be able to play the same character. It'll
be like Face Off, but more sophisticated.
I love Face Off.
Yeah, but it's not a smart movie.
No, but what's his name kills in that. And it's not Nick Cage.
Nick Cage?
It's not Nick Cage. He does not do a good other guy in Face Off, but the other guy in Face Off does
John Travolta.
John Travolta. Nick Cage doesn't do a good John Travolta, but John Travolta does an amazing Nick Cage. That's my mini review of...
The question is, who's the other guy in Face Off?
So this will come into play a little bit later, but I figured I'd just show these and mention that I have them.
Yeah, okay. Are there that many? Are we going to have to read that many of that?
Well, I mean, you don't have
That's
to.
That's a lot.
There are currently 9 volumes of My Hero Academia.
Is it still going?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Okay. I didn't know that this was a current series.
Oh, yeah. No, this is a current ongoing series.
Oh, neat. Cool.
This is current. I am now current.
Look at me, I'm right on the pulse of the manga. Look at that.
I have read through Volume 9. Volume 10 comes out in about 2 weeks.
No, this is a momentous occasion. Captain Logan didn't just read manga. He read new current manga.
Yeah, no, this is like the new Naruto. Like, it's big. It and One Punch Man, which is also a superhero manga.
I've heard great things about that.
Me too. But I've not read it.
Didn't it get a TV show?
Yes, also an anime. This is also an anime. It's 2 seasons in.
Is it?
Season 2 goes to about volume 8.
Okay. Cool.
I have watched scattered bits of it because I just read through the whole thing, and so CJ turned me onto it. He showed me some episodes, and I just went and bought all the mangas because
is that any good, or is it better to read that?
They're both really good. It's almost exact. Some of the humor actually plays a little bit better in animation.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so I have all 9
almost started
of My Hero Academia.
We're gonna do that later.
I found out this manga's really cheap at my work for me.
Yeah.
These are like $6 a piece.
Oh, that's great.
So I just bought like 2 at a time over the course of like a month.
That explains why you've been rolling on those so much.
Yeah. And we keep getting current ones. So 10 comes out in like 2 weeks. I'll get that.
That's why I'm buying these. They're really cheap. Except these like are in an order, and you're reading them in order, and you actually want to read. I mean, some of these I want to read. But
it's the first time in a long time it's the first time in a long time maybe the first time ever I'm keeping current with a manga. So we will talk about this a little bit later. But I just wanted to mention I have all 9 volumes of My Hero Academia, and the only other thing I have is I got some pops. I got some Cthulhu pops. I like to call this, because none of them were in box, I don't know what the names are, but this is light green Cthulhu. This is dark green Cthulhu. This is golden Cthulhu.
Hopefully these are actually the colors on camera that they are in real life.
This is statue Cthulhu. But yeah, so I got a couple Cthulhus.
You need to work on your naming.
They came in. They came in to my work, and I purchased them. And I made a bold I was going to say accusation, but that's not what I made. Anyways, I made a bold statement that I was gonna buy all the Cthulhus just like Cap's buying all of the Batmans, thinking, well, how many Cthulhus could they make? And then I immediately discovered that there was a $600 Cthulhu pop that's Nerd Cthulhu, and I don't care enough to do that. But if there are more cheap Cthulhus, I will buy those. But I now have
the best, most complete cheap Cthulhu collection.
I now have 4 Cthulhu pops because I like Lovecraft. I wish they'd do other ones. Like, I know that's the thing, like, people only know Cthulhu, but I'd love to see some of the Azathoth and
see, now you're getting an inkling of my pain of just buying things because you said you buy them all, and then having a bunch of repaints of the same thing. No, I love the Batman pops. But
I like the Cthulhu pops. It's actually a really nice mold. Like, it's really well detailed. I like his eyes. And his eyes change. Sometimes the lids are a little closed.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
But yeah.
No, those are awesome. We should have him fight my Batmans.
Well, Cthulhu would win.
Yeah, but it'd be fun to see him fight. I didn't say I was wondering who would win.
I mean, I do have that Batman Lovecraft comic. If you want to see that, you can. It's not great, but you can see it.
Oh, is Cthulhu in it fighting Batman?
I don't remember if Cthulhu's in it. I don't think it's actually Lovecraft creatures, but it's like generic Lovecraft creatures.
You can see that. Can I see that? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure it's in
Maybe. I don't know. Would you mind taking your stack off of this? Because this is a thing I need to...
Oh, yes. I am sorry.
No, you're fine.
I'm going to move these to the floor.
Another Star Trek thing. So I've mentioned this before, but I am buying the Eagle Moss Star Trek graphic novel collection, which is going to be, like, I think when it's all said and done, like 48. And
is it that many?
I think it's that many.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a bunch.
It's starting to look nice.
And yeah, I've already got 6. They come 2 at a time. It's $30 a month for anybody that's interested in this. Right now, they're publishing mostly the IDW stuff, but in the back of each of them, you get one of the classic Silver Age Gold Key issues, and then
which are really hard to get, right?
Which are tough to get. Yeah, they've never been traded, I don't think, and if they have, it's been a long time. And anytime you see scans of them and stuff, like, it's, even if you could afford to go back and get the classic issues, they never look good. I've never found copies that look good. Anyway, so but then also they're going to be doing really everything that was ever published, like all the DC, TNG stuff and movie era stuff and TOS stuff and all the Marvel stuff, and even obscure stuff, the UK comics and the comic strips and all that stuff. So far, it's been mostly Abrams era, and I think 3 or 4 of the 6 are things I own already. But they give you the gold key thing, and they have cool covers, and so they're not exactly what I had before. But anyway, so they're coming out in a weird order. So anyway, for this month, it was Nero, which I didn't get this when it came out, so I've not read this. This is kind of fleshing out Nero's backstory, and
I'm sure it's great. It doesn't match the movie at all.
This is TNG, The Space Between. The Space Between
what?
Seasons.
Oh.
And they're not great.
Are they all one-shots in between seasons?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Is there one between 3 and 4?
No, I don't think. I don't believe they did that. No.
That'd be amazing.
But part of the reason I wanted to show this off this month is because I got this cool comic case, and I've been looking for something like this forever, and I had to get on a mail-order Star Trek book club thing in order to get one. I just wanted a tin that was the right size to carry my comics in when I go to a coffee shop and read my guides. All I wanted. I've never found one. I had this other thing I used for a while. I had this. I found this tin thing that sort of
it also
looks
makes
like
you look like a child.
Yeah, it makes you look like a child. This is the closest thing I found. Look, I spent 10 cents on this at a yard sale and was like, fine, I guess I'll use this for a while. No, it's not great, and it's too big. And finally, this is all I wanted.
Can you do me a favor with this?
Yeah.
Can you dress up in like a suit, get a watch, and just stand at the bus stop like waiting and like check your watch with your Ninja Turtles briefcase?
Yeah, this is my Ninja Turtles briefcase. What do you have in there? Important documents. Anyway.
Protected by ninjas. That's how important it is.
But there was something that came in this. Would you like to see what came in this?
Sure.
I don't understand what these are for, but what this came with is tiny posters of mostly crappy Star Trek movies. It's not all of them, it's just some of them, and mostly bad ones. So obviously this one is on the cusp. I like a lot of things about motion picture, but motion picture's in here.
Sure.
Generations is in here.
Sure.
Star Trek 6. Star Trek 6 is
like
okay.
Star Trek 6.
Here's 09.
Also not terrible.
Not terrible. Here's Darkness. Actually, this is Countdown to Darkness. Well, that's weird. This is for a comic book.
Wait. That's an art rendering of that poster?
Yeah.
That is really cool.
Yeah, it is. And this is the cover of that comic. I just don't know what I'm supposed to do with the... Put them on my wall? What are they for? And then here's the Nemesis one. Okay, so...
Wait, hold on. I just want to see something. Okay, 2... Okay, it's only 2. I want to see how many of these pictures were just people facing away from the...
Yeah!
It's just the 2.
Because we do that a lot with Star Trek things. Well, and then a thing we had going on during the TOS era of movies was the heads in space with a beam going through them. Because you have that with motion picture and you have that with 6.
I like them, and you gave me crap because I like Insurrection's cover or poster, and you're like, it's just saying that we've done before. I was like, yeah, but when I was a kid, it was really evocative, and I really liked it.
Have I told you my story about this picture?
Is that why you shaved your head?
No, this is the one I had on my ceiling.
Oh.
Have I told you about this?
No.
So when I worked at a movie theater...
Is this the one that fell on you? No, that was something else.
That was something else. That was a giant hamburger. That was a puzzle. We're getting off track. Anyway, this was... so imagine this, but like 50 times larger.
Had you seen the film yet?
When I got it? Yeah, but it was huge. And I thought that was cool because it was huge.
Sure.
But anyway, I worked in the movie theater, and surprise, surprise, nobody else wanted it. And so I got the big movie poster, and because it's Nemesis.
Oh.
And look how goofy this outfit is. I mean, really, look at the shoulder pads. It's goofy.
And anything I've seen of that movie, it's not this rainbowy.
Yeah. And it was that rainbow. Like, when you watch the movie, the way the light hits it, it's that rainbow.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would have made it just look all black and pretend that it's not all rainbow.
Yeah.
Because that's what the normal cover does.
It's got a cool knife.
So it's on your ceiling.
Yeah.
What's the rest of the story?
Well, there's not a story. It's just I used to have that on my ceiling.
Oh, okay.
And no, the story is, isn't it stupid that I had that on my ceiling? Like, what was I thinking? Anyway, did you have anything else you wanted to show off?
I have nothing else.
This was a lengthy new acquisitions. Okay, so I'm going to go through comics just real briefly.
Okay.
Because I have comics here from like the last 3 weeks, and I haven't reviewed comics in so long. This stack would have been
larger.
larger.
About comics, I'm going to move things to the floor.
Okay, I'm going to do... Well, you can wait. We'll do that later. But...
Okay. I was trying to make some room for you to move your comics.
Oh, no, I got plenty of space.
Okay.
I got plenty of space here. Okay, so I'm going to go through this real quick. So some of these I've read, some of these I haven't. I'm not going to show you anything right now that I'm going to review later on the Comic Vault. I'm going to review
that
some...
stack is over there.
Yeah, I'm going to review some select things on the Vault a little bit later. But Justice League Power Rangers just ended. This is not great. The rest of the series isn't great, and this isn't either. Here are some of the tie-ins for Dark Knight's Metal. This is The Drowned and Red Death. I haven't read these yet.
You didn't get the shiny one.
No, but...
I feel like such a child with those, because I'm like, ooh, they're shiny.
I have that too. They look really cool.
They look really cool.
In the 90s, we complained about these really gimmicky covers, but what are you going to do? This Chrome thing is really cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. And the new Superman covers are amazing.
I'm still buying Back to the Future and not loving it. It's just okay. We feel the need to go in and fill in every single little nook and cranny. This is all about his Uncle Joey going to prison and why he goes to prison. because they feel the need to flesh that out and tell us that.
Okay.
And Marty going back in time and having to wrestle with whether or not to keep him from going to prison. So anyway,
does he show
that's
up
where we're
at the
right
prison
now.
and go, "I told you to get used to these bars"?
But it is kind of, no, but I wouldn't put that past this series. It is kind of fun, I guess, to see Doc Brown with a 70s handlebar mustache. That's kind of
Yeah,
fun.
I was looking at that on the cover. That's cool.
And then recent issues of Batman I haven't read yet. I think we're past...
The latest issue is the
War
first
of-
one past Jokes and Riddles.
Okay, so this is still
Sorry,
Jokes and Riddles, yeah. Oh yeah, because we're still doing all the faces of all the people that they've killed. And then Astonishing X-Men I'm still buying. This is supposed to just be 12 issues, and I'm really liking it so far.
Are you?
Yeah,
That's
it's pretty
good, that's good.
I had issues with the way it was introduced. I had big issues with that first issue, but I'm kind of fascinated by it now, and a lot of questions about what's real and not, and what they're doing with Xavier and that. I didn't think I was going to like it, and I'm really interested in
Cool.
it now. So anyway, Star Trek Next Generation Mirror Broken I'm buying. I don't know why. I go real hit and miss with the Star Trek books, but
But you buy all of them, right?
No,
No.
I don't. I'm not buying the current ongoing. I kind of lost interest in it.
Oh, did you finally drop that?
Yeah, and with the Eagle Moss thing, I don't know how far they're going to go. So it really makes me not sure if I should buy anything in singles now, but I was starting this before I started getting the Eagle Moss books, so I'm going to go ahead and finish this, but I like Woodward. I like Woodward's art.
Yeah, no,
And-
his art is beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, my one issue with it here is I guess I'll say this real quick. I'm not going to review this, but I will say this. My one issue with Woodward's art right now is he does, you know how he does a lot of photo reference? Mm-hmm. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. The issue with the photo reference in this is that you have a Picard who is a different character. He is evil Picard. He's from the Mirror Universe. His background and experiences are different. It wouldn't lead him to all the same facial expressions we've seen in the main series. I mean, yeah, he's the same guy. He would look the same, but the problem is I get distracted when I can call where he pulled an episode from, where he pulled a frame from an episode when I'm supposed to be looking at scary, ominous Picard. That's my issue with it.
Okay, that's fair.
Star Wars Adventures I'm buying for Jason. I haven't read any of these yet, so I don't know what these are like. But they have like a couple stories each, and they're real kind of kid friendly.
They're not published by Marvel, and that's really interesting.
Yep. Yeah, IDW is doing these. Future Quest Space Ghost. I read a couple issues of Future Quest and liked it a lot.
I want to read it because I'm all about Giant Quest.
Space I was hoping this would be longer. Apparently they're doing Future Quest Presents is just an ongoing where they're doing a bunch of different characters, and this only got 3 issues. Like Space Ghost is just a 3-issue story. So I got the first and third issue. I gotta find 2 because I stumbled upon this later and didn't realize it was a thing. But I bought it because the art looks exactly like that mini from the late 90s, and I'm very excited about that. And the one
It's
issue
written by Jeff Parker.
Yeah.
Who's writing Future Quest? I love Jeff Parker.
Yeah, he's great. And the one issue that I remember reading of Future Quest was all about Space Ghost, and he's got a really cool voice for him, and it's great. So more Batman. Venomverse, I'm not very far into yet. I'm sure it's not great.
This reminds me of a very specific cover from the 90s, but I can't recall what.
I reviewed the lead-in comic, but I haven't started reading. I haven't read that past the first issue yet. Ninja Turtles, I'm behind a couple issues on. Ninja Turtles Universe right now I'm kind of bored with because we're doing this Karai's Path thing, and I just have not cared that much for their Karai. She's fine, but I'm not real impressed yet. I'm kind of sick of this bird and shark guy that we just keep doing stories with in Ninja Turtles universe. I'm not real with this book right now, but we'll see if it picks up. Defenders, again, I'm a little behind on. I don't have anything to say about right now. I loved the first arc, so. Star Wars I read the last couple issues of, and this is one of the most jump-onable books right now. They've been doing a lot of kind of one-and-done stories lately, so it's a really good time to get back into Star Wars.
It's so weird because Aaron's leaving, and
Yeah.
Gillen's taking over. Usually when a writer leaves, they do like a big final story, like they're and it seems like he's doing a bunch of one-shots.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm not
almost
sure what
like he
that's
was
about.
done, but Gillen wasn't ready yet, so he's like, well, I'll do some fun, one-shot stories. I heard the one about the ARC Troopers or the Death Troopers, whatever the...
Oh, I haven't read that yet.
There's one...
I have all of these, but I got behind, and instead of catching up, I just started reading again, so I'll go back and read those
Whatever
again at some point.
the latest issue is.
And then I'll talk about them on the show.
Is about, like, an elite stormtrooper group, and I heard that that's really good.
Oh, cool. Is it based on or connected to that Death Troopers novel?
No. I'm just trying to figure out what the this Skull Trooper. They have a special name.
Okay. I was wondering if it was connected to that horror thing or not.
No. It's just like an elite Stormtrooper.
Mr. Miracle, I read the first issue of and was fascinated by it, but I haven't read any more of that yet. Thanos, I have gotten a little bit bored with, but I'll get back to it.
Or has he left that one too?
No, I don't think it's still a mirror. Let me see. Yeah, it is. It is. I don't know if this ends at issue 12 or keeps going. I know they're finishing a story arc next issue. Miss Windu, I'm just buying because it was the next thing after Darth Maul, and I liked that a lot. And the first issue of this was fine, but I haven't read that yet.
I love that cover. That's not the cover we've got at the store.
This is the end of Batman Shadow. I haven't read this yet, so
I haven't read it either.
Nobody spoil. Just don't spoil it, okay? Stop it. And then
I don't think I read 5.
Venom, New Superman. I'm still loving. Gwenpool, I'm way behind on, but still buying because I bought it all this time, and it's a funny book. I just haven't.
It's going to get canceled at some point, so you might as well keep buying it.
Power Rangers is really picked up. It's really
That's what you've been telling me, yeah.
It's wonderful. There's a really cool reveal at the end of this that I'm really intrigued by, and my only complaint about Power Rangers right now is that Go-Go Power Rangers, which is about what the Rangers are doing directly after the first Rita attack.
Day of the dumpster.
Yeah. It is, this and that are dealing with a lot of the same issues, and they run together a little bit for me. And they deal with them in really interesting ways that complement each other in great ways. Like, I actually kind of like that they're about a lot of, like, how do you balance your superhero life with your personal life, and, like dealing with the challenges of having to lie to people while you're, upholding, Zordon's principles and stuff. And I like that they're both covering a lot of that, and there's so much dimension for these characters, and both of these comics, and I'll talk about Go-Go a little bit later, but both of those books at this point are really good high school dramas. Like, I think junior high kids should be reading it. I think they're great, but again, they are kind of running together for me a little bit. And then Marvel is doing these weird lenticular covers where they go back and forth between an old cover and a new cover, and they're very confusing.
They're all for that Legacy event, right? Or Generation, something like that?
Yeah.
They're all supposed to be based on classic covers, which, can I just say, Brand New Day, no cover in that is a classic cover. Yeah. Don't tell me it is.
What I don't like about it is that they left everything from the old cover on it, so it's weird and confusing when you first glance at it. Like, if you know what they're doing, okay, but it's just really strange to pick up a book that says now on sale 3 times a month and it's not. It just things like that.
Yeah.
Like that's really weird to me. I don't love
great.
that. And the way they printed them, when you pick them up, inevitably, I always see the book that it's not first.
Yeah, the whole time that was sitting on the stack, I was looking at it, I was like, why did he buy a reprint of Brand New Day?
Yeah, the Venom cover, I don't know why, but the Venom cover you don't see as well as you see the Amazing Spider-Man cover, and it's a cool idea. It looks neat. I think it's kind of a weird idea.
I didn't know they were printing them like that, because online that's how they announced it.
Yeah,
it was like images that went back and forth, and I was like, okay, well that's the ones you're referencing. I didn't realize they were printing them like that.
I don't know how well this is showing up on camera and what you can see there, but anyway, like you guys might just be seeing Venom the whole time. What are you talking about? But I'm just telling you, we're
I can
looking at
vouch for him. It looks like
kind of
it's
issue,
Amazing Spider-Man, Brand New Day.
That seems like a misguided concept to me. I don't know. There's more mystery. Did I buy the same cover twice?
That's 3.
Okay.
No, because I was looking at that. I was like, oh, they're doing something to Orion. That's cool.
Paper Girls is back. I'm a little behind on this book, but I'll get back to it.
I forgot you were buying this.
Bane Conquest, I'm just buying because it's
Bane.
It's Bane. It's Dixon, and I'm curious. I haven't started reading this at all yet. Hopefully, doing this show, I'll catch up on some things. I'm still buying Spider-Man, but I don't know for how much longer. I may go ahead and finally drop this because it's pretty stalled out. I've been liking it better lately, but it's still pretty stalled out.
You've been saying that since like issue 3 of that book.
I know. More new Superman, more Venomverse, more.
That's the issue.
More Star Wars. Oh, cool. Okay, well I'll read that real soon. God, I love the art in this book. It's just gorgeous. It's just gorgeous. It's so cinematic every time. This has maintained its artistic quality like nothing I've ever seen, man. It's just like it looks as good as it did on the first day. It's wonderful. I mean, I know there's been some fill-in artists, but it's great. Jessica Jones. Once again, I see the Spider-Man annual before I see the Jessica Jones book, and that's really weird. And I don't know why they did that.
Oh, we're finally to the Purple Man arc.
Yeah, that's exciting. There's Gwenpool. Look, they put Fantastic Four on a book. for the first time in a really long time because they're doing this lenticular thing, and then Avengers and Defenders. I actually like that one. I think that's pretty cool.
You're doing it too fast. Do it slower. Oh, I see what they did there.
There's more Path of Karai and Daredevil.
Ooh, that's a cool cover.
Yeah, it is. I don't know, I'm probably 2 or 3 issues behind on that. So anyway, I gotta catch up.
You know what they're saying?
That's the moral of this story.
They're saying rise.
Is that what they're saying?
That's what they're saying.
Or they're saying
Desi,
whatever it is.
Basara.
Whatever it is. Anyway. All right, well,
they don't
folks,
chant it in a way that makes sense. They say Basara, Basara. If it means rise, you wouldn't do Desi, Basara, Basara. It'd be rise, ziz.
I do not think new acquisitions will take this long every time.
No.
But that's us going through
just
a
had
bunch of stuff that we bought recently. So thanks a lot for watching us go through all of that.